Now from the banks of the Ohio and high above from Air 3, here is the Wave 3 News Team.
And good evening, everybody. I'm Jackie Hayes, and thank you for joining us for Wave 3's live coverage of the 1997 Great Steamboat Race. We're going to bring you all the action from the start to the finish, from the river to the shores. Last year, of course, high water cut short the 14-mile race between Louisville's Belle of Louisville and the larger Delta Queen of New Orleans. But this year, perfect weather should make for an exciting contest. The race is set to begin any moment, but first let's check in with my partner, Scott Reynolds. He is live aboard the Belle of Louisville. Hello, Scott.
Hi, Jackie. I can tell you that there's a rich history on this boat, and we plan to improve upon it tonight. We lead this series 16-15 over the Delta Queen, and we're glad to just have pulled up anchor here. It's a beautiful night. This surely makes up for the bad weather we had for Thunder over Louisville, I can tell you that. A gorgeous evening on the Ohio for this race. Dwayne Lucas might not win 3 derbies in a row, but we plan to make it 3 in a row over the Delta Queen here tonight. Captain Mike Fitzgerald has been up all night poring over videotapes of last year's race to see if he can find any areas to improve upon last year's performance. We've got our crack staff of divers underwater checking the currents on the Ohio River, trying to find the path of least resistance for our boat to give us a little advantage. And we're getting some help from about 1,000 people on board here tonight, too, because this is a team effort. These folks say they'll jump overboard and go into the lifeboats if they have to lessen the load a little bit, to pick up our speed if we're behind the Delta Queen as this race winds down. It's about 14 miles. It should take us about 75 minutes, and my cohort, Angela Martinez, is on the competitor boat. It's bigger, but not necessarily better. We refer to it as the DQ. Angela?
Good evening. I'm Angela Martinez here on the Delta Queen, which incidentally is celebrating her 70th birthday this year. What a wonderful birthday gift. A set of gilded antlers. We'll take it. And we'll bring you much more live from the Delta Queen in just a moment. But first, from the water to the sky, Craig Edwards is standing by live in Air 3.
Right, Angela, it's a little bumpy up here today. We've got a pretty good wind blowing out here. We'll have to wait and see exactly how that wind kind of plays into the strategies for both boats as we're making our way up the Ohio River and then back down for this big race. But once again, we'll give you all the views from up above in Air 3 as we follow the 2 boats as they make their way on up the river a little bit later on. You know, I've already been up the river and taken a look, and there are a couple of prime locations up there to watch all of the activities. One of those locations happens to be down at the Chow Wagon. That's where my cohorts, Craig Hoffman and Lori Lyle, are standing by. Guys?
I tell you, Craig, with all this talk about boats, has anyone mentioned food? Food, anyone? We have popcorn here, snow cone. I see the funnel cake over there in the corner, Craig.
I haven't had a funnel cake since last year when I was down at the Chow Wagon, but last year it wasn't here on the waterfront because there was a lot of construction. It was over at 8th and Jefferson. Right now, it looks like a crowd well over 1,000 people are gathered here, listening to some music, eat some funnel cakes, and all types of other food. It's going to be a long night. I'm looking forward to see the start of the race here.
That's right, and I want to see the view from the water tower in Nell Taylor.
Talk about food. We've got Kentucky Fried Chicken here, and they're serving food to everyone. It's terrific out here. The weather is beautiful. Now, this is the first time I've been able to be down at the water tower to do this, and I'm really excited about it. The view is perfect for the race, and folks are crowding in to see, I think, the best seats in the house for the whole Steamboat race. And Bob Domine, I know you've been doing this for 20 years, and I took your seat this year.
I've had that for 20 years. You take care of my position down there. Hurry, hurry, you got to read all about it. This is the post-position draw sheet. You can't do your Derby draw without it. Everybody that's come in here to the Derby Museum has one of these, and on it are positions for the post positions next to the name of the horses. Now, behind me will be Jerry Betts, who is the racing secretary here at Churchill Downs, and Donnie Richardson, who is the vice president of racing here at Churchill Downs. And they have what are called little pill bottles. Inside, they have little corresponding pills that have numbers on them. The first number that they pill out will represent the post position, and everybody tenses as it's number 13 on the outside, and they wonder who the horse is, and that's what the next little pill's for, which horse will go into the position that was pulled. It's called the Kentucky Derby Post Position Draw, and it's kind of exciting for those people who are down in front. You can see some of the chairs right in front of the Derby Museum platform down there, and those are chairs, 7 of them each, I managed to count from here, in which there will be trainers and owners and all the WikiWiks and their little group. So we'll be here about 5:20 for the entire Kentucky Derby post-position draw. You be with us. The tension is mighty, Jackie.
I can imagine. Thank you, Bob Domine, live at the Derby Museum. And, of course, I'm going to be here in the Wave 3 studios bringing you news updates periodically throughout the Steamboat race, which, by the way, is supposed to get underway about 5 o'clock, but by the last look, they were running a little bit behind. Now, the threat of severe weather has been inching towards wave country, but will it hold off till the race is over? John Belski is standing by live in Storm Center 3 with an update on the storm front. John?
All right, Jackie, this is the first year in a long time I've been here in the studio instead of at the riverside there, but we are tracking the weather. Let's go to the radar here. There's a lot of tornado watches to the north and northwest of Louisville. Nothing locally, but a line of severe storms moving across Illinois, and it's pretty far away, and we expect beautiful weather for the boat race, a little on the windy side. These storms will not arrive here until mid-evening. We'll talk much more about the threat of severe weather coming up. We're going to be on with our next weathercast at about 5:30. We'll have some more radar updates for you then. But looks good for the race.
All right, we like that. And, of course, I just got an update. Race hadn't started yet. We're going to go to a commercial break and take a look at the boats live from Air 3. We'll have an update on that, and hopefully it'll be underway in just a couple of minutes. Wave 3's live team coverage of the great Steamboat race continues in just a moment.